You don't have to do hip thrust to make your butt grow. I don't care what all of the female influencers out there with millions of followers and BBL accusatory booties tell you. You can grow your butt in many different ways. You don't have to take up all of the space in your gym by getting a bench and then a barbell with all the plates and just fucking the sky until your butt starts to grow. In my program, number one, I'm not a bodybuilding program, okay? I program to help busy moms and busy dads get an efficient workout in 45 minutes to help them build functional strength, to get stronger, to live longer for their families, and carry the kids up mountains without getting tired. Things that we do in my program that work your butt. Monday, power cleans. Tuesday, front squats, Bulgarian split squats, pendulum lunges, other squat variations. Wednesday, hang power cleans. Thursday, we let your butt rest. We do chest. Friday, deadlifts, hip below, parallel, box step-ups, squat cleans. We do plenty of butt stuff in my program. If you want to do hip thrust on your own, you're welcome to do so, but it's a waste of time and energy, in my opinion.
All right, guys, that was Andre Cruz, and he's right. You don't have to do hip thrusts. You don't have to do any exercise. If you don't want to do squats or deadlifts or leg press or lunges or Bulgarians or Romanians, none of them are mandatory for glute growth. What I think is important to maximize glute growth is finding some exercises that train you from a vertical direction. They work you hardest in the stretch position, some in the horizontal direction that work you hardest in the squeeze position, and some abduction movements both in the frontal and transverse planes because they target different areas. And I think the way you maximize recoverable volume is doing a good blend of those three categories. But I also want to mention that system because I've been doing it forever, where you choose a squat lunge pattern, a hinge pull variation, a thrust bridge variation, and an abduction variation, especially when you alternate between bilateral and unilateral single leg variations of squat patterns, when you alternate between vertical and horizontal hinge patterns like RDLs and 45 hypers, and when you alternate between lockout hip thrust variations and non-lockout. So full range one time and then like a pause or a pulse or bar plus band. And then when you alternate between abduction movements, frontal plane, side to side, and then transverse plane, that's when you're bent over and you go outwards. That's when you build the most functional glute gains because sports are triplanar. When you swing a bat, you're doing hip extension, hip abduction, and hip external rotation at the same time. You combine all three movements. You need to do all three movements to maximize glute function, but you also are going to build quads and adductors with the squat pattern and hamstrings with the hinge pattern, and all four patterns grow the glutes. You're going to get upper and lower gluteus maximus as well as glute medius and minimus. So I do think the system is highly functional. I also like what Andre recommended, throwing a lot of different power and hang cleans and a lot of standing ground-based functional movement. Those have always stood the test of time, so it just depends on your goals. I'm Bret Contreras, aka The Glute Guy.